Shalom, 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 friends. I hope you'll join me today if you feel up to it. Shalom, shalom, friends. I hope you'll join me today if you feel up to it. Those of you who might want to listen and join in Psalm 91, what we call Tehillim, Tzadi Aleph, an opportunity to learn a little bit together before Shabbat and before Rosh Chodesh. It says here in the Talmud of Shavuot 15b, it calls Psalm 91 Shir Shel Pegayim, or Shir Shel Negayim, the song of plagues. And in our moment of pandemic, this psalm looks at Dever. In verse number 6, it looks at Dever, it looks at the plague. In verse number 10, it looks at Nega, the disease, the diseases, the plagues. And yet it offers us the chance to find hope in salvation. Verse 15, that in our distress, imanochi betsara, that the oneness, the compassionate oneness of divine unity is here with us to hold us. It says here in verse 9, to be our refuge, that God can be our refuge. Whether we hold a theology that God is in control of the world and that prayer works, whether we hold a theology that, yes, God may be in control and prayer may work, but it's unclear, but it's a faith-based model, or whether we don't think God is actually in control based on problems of theodicy and we believe in free will, but we can seek prayer for relationship, for connection, that we don't want to be alone. Because it says twice in the Torah, as I shared earlier today, lo tov. It's not good. The first time it says lo tov in the Torah is the most obvious one. Genesis, the second chapter. Adam is created and he's alone. He is alone, and God says lo tov. It's not good for a person to be alone. And then again in Exodus, in the next book, Yitro, Moses' father-in-law, says lo tov. You can't lead alone. It's not good to lead alone. You need to lead together. And so, friends, in our time of isolated darkness, our time of pandemic fear, our time of social distancing, it's a time for us to remember that, yes, we have to distance, but we cannot be alone. We have to hold each other up. We have to hold each other close, hold each other together. So whatever our theology is, whatever faith we are, denomination we are, whatever relationship we have to God or whatever we call that God, this verse, this psalm, Psalm 91, again, which the Talmud describes as Shir Shel Pegayim, Shir Shel Negayim, the song of the plagues, because of its dealing with Dever, with plagues, with Nega, with disease. It offers us to have hope within that. Not a hope that everything's going to be all right tomorrow, but a hope that if today we continue to hold each other up, we continue to hold each other close, we continue, as it says in verse 5, don't have fear. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have a normal human emotion of fear, but we don't let it control us. We don't let fear paralyze us from our potential of what we can do together. So friends, last message before I want to sing a verse here with you, if you'll join me. It says in verse 11 that God will send us angels. Friends, let's be that angels for each other. Let's be those malachim for each other. The angels that call each other to see how we're doing. The angels that reach out to each other for support, for friendship. The angels that offer financial support to people around us who need it. The angels who really seek to do whatever we can spiritually, physically, in solidarity with each other. Because this time of distancing is a time to actually come closer than we've ever done before. And so, Imo Anochi B'tzara, it says in verse 15 of Psalm 91, that God is with us in our distress, but also that God sends angels, and we are the angels. Each one of you here with me are an angel. I can feel your presence on the other side of the screen. I can feel your hearts open. I can feel your souls open, that we can be in this together spiritually through the internet, through our connection, through our souls. And so I want to sing a verse here. Again, this is not me, God forbid, pushing a particular faith or theology. This is just a chance for us to be together, whatever our faith is, whatever our spiritual orientation is, for us to pray together. So if the Hebrew words are something that resonates for you, You can join me in Psalm 91, verse 5 and 6. And if it's not, then just feel free to close your eyes and say your own words of prayer or your own meditation. But here's what it says here over here in English. Verse 5, you need not fear the terror by night or the arrow that flies by day, the plague that stalks in the darkness, or the scourge that ravages at noon. So friends, we need not be afraid, not because we know tomorrow is going to be okay, but because we know today we're going to continue to hold each other. We're going to be in this together, not with a scarcity model that leads us to fear and disillusionment and tribalism, but with a love orientation, a compassion that bridges us together rather than divides us apart. Shir Shel Pagayim, the Song of Plagues. Lo tira mi pachad laila mechetz yauf yoimam midever baofel yaloch mi ketev yashud zarayim Lo tira mi pachad, Laila mechetz yauf yoimam, mi dever bahoifel yahaloch, mi ketev yashut zarayim. Now without the words, hirirai ya 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 ya. Hirirai ya 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 ya. Hirirai ra hirai ra ya ya. Hirirai ra ya ya ya. Friends, feel free to share here in the comments things you're thinking, things you're feeling, a chance to just be together right now. That this Psalm 91, I really want to recommend, whether you take a religious orientation or a non-religious or whatever religion, because Psalm 91, as I shared earlier, is the song of plagues, that how within pandemic, within sickness, within fear, we don't let the fear control us. We don't let the fear hold us, but we hold the fear. We hold the fear and we refine it. We channel it towards what's good, that we feel imanochi betzara, that we feel that we're not alone. We feel that we're held by the divine. We feel that we're holding one another. And even further, that the angels, the malachim, the angels, that we can be angels for one another. If we just look around, they're the medical professionals day and night working to heal. They're the scientists working to cure. They are the food delivery folks and those working in the farms. They're those who are working tirelessly in the essential work. And it's also those of us who feel sad in our isolation, who feel alone, who feel even depressed in many ways. And the psalmist here, traditionally attributed to David Hamelech, King David, is not just praying, but expressing a full range of emotions, of ecstatic, distressed, content, full of fear, full of joy. And what can resonate for us here are, what are the emotions I'm feeling? Let's not suppress these and repress these emotions. Let's express them in our meditations, in our songs, in our prayers, in our phone calls. Let's be fully alive in these moments where the world is changing around us. Friends, for those of you who are Jewish, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a Chodesh Tov. For those of you who are not, all of us together, I wish us solidarity. Let's continue to fight injustice, fight oppression. Let's continue to raise our spirits, our own and those around us, to fill ourselves with love and compassion, and to be together in these times of distancing. May we get to the other side of the sea together in joy and in liberation. Much love and blessings.